We've come to the absolutely massive fast show here at Santa Pod for round one of the front wheel drive drag series. Now, we've got a lot of brand new entries this year to really mix it up with some of the past champions and the more experienced drivers. We're hoping for the return of Richard Batty and Sam Bolton later in the year, so let's turn our attention to round one. Santa Pod's Fast Show is always a favourite with the modified car clubs and Rung What You Brungers, and this year is no different with bumper crowds, packed staging lanes and plenty to see and do around the site. This is just the sort of event that many of our front wheel drive drag series competitors first began racing at, so the series fits in really well here. 2016 sees the return of many of last year's regulars, including Amy Bradley and James Lord, and we've also got quite a few new competitors, including Alan Duthie all the way from Scotland and Daniel Moulton, who'll be making his first pass down the quarter mile this weekend. Two of last year's competitors not out today include Keel Priestman, still trying to overcome fueling problems, and Peter Cole, who unfortunately destroyed his clutch and flywheel on the dyno last week. One of last year's most improved machines was the Corsa of Ben Dalgleish.
Hopefully the plan this year is to try and break the 9, so we'll have to see how it goes. Yeah, I think it's really close, so I think it'll be a good race this year.
And what about James Lord?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
Any changes?
Running a different turbo now and slightly more power, so I don't know what the outcome's going to be. We'll have to see today.
We've got a new turbo now. It's exactly the same size, just we was having problems with the old one. So we've got a new turbo, and then just obviously had the new front end, and that's it really.
There seems to be a lot of cars entered to the start of the season. You excited about this year?
Yeah, it should be a lot better now. Yeah, I'm excited, yeah.
Really looking forward to this one. This is my first event as a competitor, so really looking forward to this. Just tweaked a few bits and pieces on it, changed a few things to come up to scratch for entering the competition, so we'll see how we go.
Now this is a 9-second car, isn't it?
I did a 9-second last year. I'm hoping to do that again this year. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we've been out once this season already. Did a 10.3 at 143, so looking to push on that.
So in actual fact, with so many cars running low 10s in this class, you could be competitive right from the start, couldn't you?
Yeah, we hope so. Just hoping the car runs all right all weekend, really.
So into the first of the morning's qualifying sessions, and first out is going to be Amy Bradley in the right lane with the Civic and James Lord with the VW in the left. Well, Amy's best time last year was a 10.17 and a 10.63 for James. Amy ended the season in third place in the series, but for an engine breakage partway through the year, could have been a lot higher. But James is away on a flyer on this one. No early checkout pass for him. And up to the line, it's looking good. A huge personal best, almost half a second improvement there. That will put a smile on his face. New boys then, Alan Duthie with a Corsa in the right lane and Luke Pritchard in the Civic. Looks like a problem there for Luke being pushed back. So what can Alan do? That's a great launch there for Alan Duthie. Up to the stripe. This is looking very fast indeed. Over the line he goes. 9.87 at 150 miles per hour. Well, the problem for Luke seems to have been rain and condensation on the car, but he'll get it dried off and be back to the line shortly. Next up is the Corsa of Ben Dalgleish. Ran a best of 10.183 last year and finally seems to have solved the problem of broken half shafts which plagued the team the year before. You can hear the tyres fighting for grip at each gear change and smoke at the top end. Let's hope it's nothing major. A 10.84 at 134 miles per hour. Okay, Luke Pritchard out again. Will it go well this time? Nice and neatly up the line there. Not a bad first pass in competition at all as he crosses the line at 10.26 at 142 miles per hour. So that's the first qualifier finished, and as the Run What You Brung cars take to the track, there's just 1 hour for drivers to change setups and find out what went wrong last time out before they're due out for session 2. And here they are, ready for the second qualifier. A bit of track prep going on there. Well, no sign of Ben Dalgleish after that smoke last time out, but we do have the first appearance of Danny Moulton in the VW Lupo. So the first pair is James Lord in the right lane and Amy Bradley in the left lane. Amy looking to improve on her first pass. And it's a much better start this time for Amy, but oh, she seems to be slowing. Loads of smoke at half track. Oh, it turned out the car dumped a lot of oil all over the track on that pass, but the Civic didn't get out of shape. Very well controlled there, Amy. So after quite a long track clean-up, next out is Alan Duthie in the right lane and Luke Pritchard in the left. Nice launch there from Alan. Very good looking, good. He seems to be slowing. Oh, he's slowing at half track. Oh, that is a real shame. Up to the line he goes and records a 12.18 this time, but a nice 10.37 for Luke there. Well, this is the first outing ever on the drag strip for both car and driver. It's Danny Moulton in the VW Lupo. Oh, a bit squirrely here, pulling to the left on every single gear change. But not a bad opening time, not a bad pass at all. Up to the stripe, 11.66.
Yeah. I've had a lot of people say to me, you know, this, that, and everything else, and I was a bit worried at first. I'll be honest, but yeah, once I got going, yeah, the adrenaline kicks in, and then yeah, you just want to go. So we'll see how it goes next time. Yeah, I'm happy. So far, you know, there's room for improvement, but we'll just see how we get on. You know, for the first time ever, I've never been on a quarter mile, not even in a road car, so I haven't done too bad, I suppose. 11.6, I'm happy with that. I backed off well before the gantry, so you know, I just wanted to give it a sort of a test run to see how it got on.
Obviously, racing against somebody else as well, you haven't only got to get the car off the line properly, you've got to try and cut to reasonable light, haven't you? So that's one more challenge, which is it's all quite difficult when it's first time out.
Yeah, it's you know, it's one thing after another. You've just got, you know, as I say, we've built a car. It's taken us 2 years to build it. Today is its first outing, so we just want to try and see how we get on. Make sure we get a few runs in. Make sure we don't get no breakages. Then we can up the power and play ball. Well, at the moment it's running 650 horsepower. There is room for improvement. We've got a problem with the wastegate. It's running a minimum of 30 psi boost, so that's probably why hence the wheel spin up the track. We want to try and lower the boost and then bring it boost by gear, so we're at full boost by the end. But yeah, it's a 2 litre 20 valve turbo out of a Volkswagen Golf. Run a GT35 turbo and 1000cc injectors.
And James Lord now has the fastest front-wheel drive VW in the UK.
I believe so, yeah. I think it's by a fraction, but yeah, I think it's been done.
It must be quite nice to come out having made a few changes and suddenly drop that amount off your personal best.
Yeah, it's nice that everything's come together and the car's starting to work, so fingers crossed and carry on doing the same. But every time we do a run we have to check it over just to make sure we haven't broken anything, but fingers crossed it's been alright so far.
But not such good news for Amy Bradley.
My burnout was fine. 60 foot was really fine. It pulled well in first, second. As soon as I hit third, big bang. So I cut it off. And then when I just got down to the bottom, opened the bonnet and realised that the rod come through the block. So yeah, it's game over for me.
So at the end of qualifying, number 1 position goes to Alan Duthie.
Yep, good, excellent. Just what I wanted.
You're obviously quite happy with the car the first time out. It was a bit slow the second time. Was there a reason for that?
I've lost 4th gear in the gearbox, so I've only got 1, 2, 3 and 5. So, but we'll keep going. It goes forward, so keep pushing. It's a 2 litre turbo, forced internals inside, bigger turbo, custom cams and things like that. Just much the same as everybody else really. Just different cars, different specs.
And the best you've ever done with the motor on the track has been?
Last year I did a 982 at 155. That's the first time I've driven this year, and I did a 9.8 first run, so really happy with that. Get the gearbox fixed and back for the next round.
So into round 1 of eliminations, the quarterfinals, and no Amy Bradley after that earlier incident, which will give someone a bye into the next round. And first out is Alan Duffy, and he's got that bye run. Obviously he won't be pushing the car hard on this one. All he actually needs to do is break the beams and take the win, and he cruises down the track to record a very sedate 17-second time. Next pair, James Lord in the right lane and Danny Moulton in the left lane. Not a particularly strong burnout this time for James, but he does have a second in hand over Danny's qualifying time. Well, Danny's away first, but actually too soon he's pulled a red and gives the automatic win to James, who obviously saw what happened and eased off a bit there. Very even times though as they cross the line. Final pair then, and it looks like Ben Dalgleish has made it round. That's his Corsa in the right lane there up against Luke Pritchard. Could be very close this one, as Ben hasn't put in a full power pass just yet. Ben away first, but Luke is closing on him down the track. At the stripe, the win goes to Luke with a time of 10.16 to a losing 10.52. So time to look around the show for the spectators, but it's soon time for the semi-finals, and the first pairing is set to be James Lord in the left lane and Luke Pritchard in the right. Well, this one could be very close indeed. Both cars have recorded 10.1s today, and it could easily come down to start line reactions. It's even on the tree, but Luke is visibly slowing, and James will take the win for a place in the final. Oh, that is a real shame there for Luke. Obviously real problems with his car, hopefully nothing terminal. Well, second semi-final, and due to the way the ladder is worked, it's another solo pass for Alan Duffy. Again, he'll just cruise through to claim his place in the final. Taking it nice and easy up to the line there for a final place. And yes, that is a giant pepper army in the grandstands watching the jet car action as we wait for the final. Fire Force is, of course, always a firm fan favourite with everyone at Santa Pod. And just look at that time. So, final time then, and it looks like Alan Duffy has not made it to the start line, so it's going to be a solo for the win for James Lord. Nothing can go wrong here. Looks like he's going to be trying something though. He's putting the hammer down. He looks like he's going for another PB this time round, and off he goes up to the line. He's really on it this time, taking the event win with a 10.19 at 145 miles per hour.
Well, that was one of those interesting finals where only one driver shows up. So what happened? Where were you?
After the first go, I lost second gear and fourth gear, so I was only down on a couple of gears, and then I just nursed it because I had a bye, but just couldn't make the final. There's nothing left.
But you still bagged the points, which is always very important.
Yeah, that's fine. Got some points out of that, so good for the first round.
Are we going to see you out in the future, maybe next round?
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Good stuff. And what about yourself then, James, over here with the winner? James, that was one of the easiest finals you've probably ever had.
Yeah, obviously because I wasn't racing anyone, but what can you do? It's a shame he broke really, because it would have been nice to compete against him, but it's one of them things that happens, isn't it?
And I think looking at the times, it would have been quite a close final as well.
Yeah, I think it would all be down to reaction, basically. Alan's got a slightly quicker car, but I think it'd just be down to reaction times.
And of course, looking at the rest of the season ahead then, with the lineup that was there today, we don't know who's going to join the championship later on, but it's a great start for you.
Yeah, I'm over the moon. It was unexpected. I'd never ever thought I'd win an event, but it's happened, so I'm over the moon.
Well done, and of course that's round 1 done, but we've got a few more to go, so stay tuned to see what happens over the course of the season. Will we see the return of Richard Batty and some of the other past champs? Watch this space.